Alright, so this wood is pretty warped. This is some stuff that it's been sitting outside, but also I cleaned it up, but it came from Home Depot. It was discounted. You know, the purple crooked tree truss stuff. And then these are from the house where we got the scraps. It's kind of strange. This wood here smelled really pitchy. I was afraid it was going to maybe shatter, so we got to keep an eye on it, but these other ones are fine. So it's really crooked, and I had a hard time getting the lid on it. I did want to stick to my dimensions, if you can see. That's how bad this wood is. What was this? This was like, I needed 24 inches, and I think it was 22 1/4. So what I did was I just shifted it. But this stuff was really kind of hard to work with. They said we'd have a crack down there. I'm probably going to set it up and leave it there for a little while and see if it settles before I start putting the base skirt around it, which isn't really necessary, but it does give it strength. But because this thing's so crooked, I think maybe we'll just forget about it. But it didn't take me too long to throw it together. I had to drill all the screws because these new drywall screws, I forgot, they're like a lot thicker of a shank than the ones that you get like these. These ones are skinnier. These exterior galvanized wood screws are actually really nice, but literally I don't know how much is in here. 1 pound. And it's definitely not $3.59 for that box. I think it's like $8. So 1 pound of those is $3.59. So hopefully we'll be able to continue to get them for that price. So get this done. I'm going to get it in there. So what I'm going to do is I can pull this back out of here again, but it'll go right here. And hopefully it'll be pretty close to the same height and size as this. So we'll see. I got a clutch. It's really heavy. From my 97 F250 diesel. So, and keeping that. The guy screwed me when he did the job. He lied to me. He told me, yeah, we pulled your, what he did is he did a typical shady upsell. I can't believe, I go into the shop and I tell this dude, hey, I'm an automotive mechanic. I just moved here. I haven't been here that long. I don't have a job. I don't work in automotive right now, but that's all I've ever done. And please don't screw me or do me wrong. What does he do? He screws me. So he says, we pulled your transmission and it has some kind of cheap Chinese clutch in it. And the pilot bearing just fell out into all kinds of pieces and stuff. Or he said pilot bearing? No, he said throwout bearing. I don't know. Either way, I said I want, as soon as he said that, he said you need a new clutch. There's nothing left of this one either. Okay, I said that's fine. I said put a new clutch in there and do the rear main seal while you're at it and everything else that needs to be done. And I want all of my old parts. Don't throw anything away. And he got real quiet. So anyway, he did the job, and he wasn't he did the job and he wasn't calling me back because the truck wasn't working right. I stopped by the shop and they were like, you know, the kid was like not wanting to deal with me, but he said, yeah, he's not here right now. The owner's not here right now. He's at the junkyard. I'm like, oh, great. So he says, yeah, the truck is done, but there's no reverse, so we got to pull it back out. And I specifically told this moron not to rebuild my transmission. I said, give me a new remanufactured transmission. I don't know what's going to be wrong with this transmission when we take it apart. I don't really fucking care. I want a remanufactured transmission. That way we don't have to worry about, because with the manual transmission that's grinding all the gears, usually it's just the sinker blocker rings. Everybody always says, oh, it's the synchros. No, the blocker rings are what slow the synchros down so that they mesh with the gears, and the blocker rings get bad. It is essentially the synchros are the problem, but the blocker rings are what screw with it. So this is supposedly my really bad throwout bearing. Looks perfectly fine to me. If you know what these are supposed to look like, you'll understand there's nothing wrong with it. And the clutch is got tons of meat on it. Like, I could understand if it was down to the rivets, but it is not. So yeah, he lied to me. And I remember that every time I see this fucking thing sitting here. Anyway, so if I ever need a clutch, guess what? This is going back in that truck because I don't ever drive it. But if I ever need a clutch for a 7.3 ZF5, I've got one. And it didn't need to be changed. And who knows if the clutch that got put in there was any better. I believe the one in there says Vallejo on it. So it's not cheap Chinese shit any more than a Luck is. So, and this is not made in the USA either. So, whatever. But anyway, I gotta move that and not get pissed off. And we're gonna put this other table over here. And all we just gotta do is move this. So we're gonna do that. And I'll be back. Alright, so this is so warped. This thing is up about an inch or so. Good Lord. So, I basically think this corner is up really high because I can see it. But this one seems to be down. So, I don't know. We might have to shim this thing. I mean, it's not going to go anywhere. This is why I didn't want to put anything on the bottom. And it could be like, you know, one of them moved in this way or that way. But it's about what I wanted. It's just hoping it would sit flatter. Now, the floor might also be really bad, too. I know I've tested that theory and seen that the floor is not great, but it's really bad. So, I don't know, maybe if I load it with a bunch of weight, it'll start to settle. Also, we need to probably put a cross brace underneath here if we put a lot of weight on it, because it's not fully on this here. So I'm going to have to cut a couple pieces, I think. But the more that I do that, the less likely this thing is to sit correctly. I might be able to undo some stuff and kind of get it to readjust. Anyway, I think it's just that this thing is just too far gone on the Home Depot purple wood from the land of mystery trees. What am I going to do? I could do a few things, but we're going to leave it for now. We'll load it up with some weight and see how it changes. I need to get some crutches underneath here, strengthen this, because I was standing on it. I mean, I could push on it right now. It pushes quite a bit. So.